Mhm.
All right, so to kind of summarize my points, I think students that graduate high school and they've received a lot of discipleship throughout their ministry will have a much higher level of commitment. And I think
Mhm.
one of the big aspects is that um, whereas many churches tend to remain stagnant in their spiritual progress, and that they just kind of just do a lot of what their traditions have them do. I think having students that were discipled and they're used to spiritual progress will continue to bring spiritual progress to a church as adults.
Mhm.
And I also think that as students are learning this idea of multiplication, even as teenagers, I think that multiplication process will continue throughout their time as adults in the church, and that I think will create a very healthy church environment. And then also, just to further the idea of this commitment, I think there would be more volunteering happening throughout the church when students have the mindset of church isn't just about them and them getting fed and them, having a show put on for them, but it's about pouring into other people, and making disciples. I think they'll become much less self-centered as adults in the church. So those are my thoughts.
Okay, for my summary, for the teenager and student who has a fully disciple, for me, what I'm thinking is they will not be shaken at all because they are fully disciple. Even though like they go college and around the college, even though they are not like even though they're not like healthy churchy, which doing well actually actively, but even though they go that kind of churches, they will not be like thinking bad, thinking like, oh, what should I do? How can I do something here? But rather than that, they will think, okay, I'm here to serve this church. So even though like they're not good Bible study, even though there is no prayer meeting, even though they're not like good discipleship, the person who had the fully disciple, they will not be shaken, even though those kind of situation coming. They will actively, rather than they will actively serve actually the church. They will make the start maybe discipleship in there in the church, and from that one person or a couple of person who just came to one random church, they will be influenced, they will give the influence to the church, making disciples and another disciples in the church.
My summary is that teens that are discipled throughout the student ministry, that they'll find an easier time finding a church and knowing what a sound church looks like, and then sticking with the church once they find that church. And then once they're in that church, just going about and making disciples on their own. It was modeled for them so they know how to do it on their own. And then not only are they discipling, but they're also volunteering, so they don't just come in and leave when it's time to leave, but that they'll stay around and help the other leaders where there is help needed. And then they know who they are as they go into college, and that identity sticks with them throughout their life.
All right. So, yeah, my summary is that if we give students a full experience of discipleship before they graduate, they leave with a better understanding of who God is and how to defend their faith against opposition, because we've given them a complete tool set to work with, and they're prepared to lead whenever they go to whatever church it is that they go to. And when they do embark on that journey of finding a new church, we've given them a proper understanding of what a good church experience looks like. And then through all of this, once they do find that new church, they're able to enter into service in the new church and into discipleship relationships at a faster rate. And they enter these with this Great Commission minded, disciple making mindset, uh, and they're prepared to duplicate uh, what they've uh, what they've experienced for themselves.
speak.